How to give a passenger briefing without freaking out your passengers? Does diamond time affect employment? How to prepare for the wet season? And what's my aviation journey really been like? I answer all these questions and more coming right up. So strap in and let's get into it.
Good morning, 1714, northbound Mallow 7 POV with altitude.
Coordinating, Hale on a runner, bank, tower, bank pressure rolling to 30 degrees. That's 30 degrees there. Sit by star 9000, 1013, KFI 25.
Hello, g'day everybody. Welcome to another awesome episode of the Flight Training Australia podcast, episode 137. The podcast all about flight training, flying, and anything fun up in the air, down on the ground to do with aeroplanes. Whether you're in Australia, somewhere around the world, it's great to have you. I'm your host, Trent Robinson. Thanks for listening in. Sorry, a day late. I got called out in the Mallard this morning, and it was a 0400 sign-on, or 0430, but it's what it felt like. And I just totally got caught out of time last night. So sorry for being a little bit delayed. But here we are. Had a fantastic day, as always. Any bonus flight in the Mallard is a good day indeed. Hope you all enjoyed the Netflix teaser. I was having a bit of a problem with that. Now I'm in a lot of trouble for doing that. But how cool would it be? And everyone's very excited to watch something like that. I don't know if a whole season could possibly come out of everything we do in the Mallard, but I thought maybe a combination of that, horizontal falls, stuff at Sydney Seaplanes and whatever else, there could be something in it. Bit of training with Dan in the Buccaneer, all things seaplanes, flying boats. It'd be very, very cool. Speaking of that, Dan Bolton, aka that Mallard guy, my good mate, he is on a plane right now on I think it's the 777. I know he's with Air Canada, off to British Columbia to see the final flight of the Martin Mars, going to its new home at the British Columbia Museum, which would be just amazing. It's been doing all sorts of I'd say sea trials, but they're more lake trials on the lake, doing engine runs and high-speed taxis and everything, just looking for any possible issues. These beautiful aeroplanes, they were used firebombing by Coulson's, and they've been sitting on the ground for years now, and it's finally come to a time where they're going to be moved to a better place. They're going to be building a massive dome, shed-style hangar over it to protect it, a similar sort of style to what the Spruce Goose used to be in. And Dan's going to go on some seaplane adventures. So definitely check out his Facebook page, his Instagram, and keep an eye on what's going on there, because it's a very special moment. Hopefully he'll get to see it, and even, I won't tell you, a few secrets for him to potentially reveal. So very exciting. Just before he left, he started and finished off the floating hull endorsements for none other than Matt Hall and Emma McDonald. We've been hanging out with them for the last few days. It was great to catch up with Matt again. You may remember I took a photo. I first met Matt when he started the Rebel Air Race some time ago. My old boss used to be his instructor in the Air Force. And they've been up here doing their floating hull endorsement just to see the other side of flying and get into the seaplane world as well. So they've been having a fantastic time, and it was great to catch up with them and have dinner. And Matt and Emma will be joining me on the podcast sometime soon. They've got a little bit of a busy August ahead with the Pacific Air Show and everything going on, but look out for some episodes with them in September is the plan, and it'll be fantastic to talk all sorts of things, Rebel Air Race, the New World Air Race format, military stuff, and everything else, the Pacific Air Show. What else has been going on? Flying. Yeah. So for those that are looking at doing some bookings and things with me, there's a couple of little holes that have opened up. I can't do any full-time training. So instructor training and instrument training is now booking in for January. I've got a bunch of people thinking about it. I'd recommend the last week of January sort of onwards, because January can be a little bit funny. Hence, I'm going to go down to Adelaide for a week and a bit and go dive with some great white sharks in a cage. And then I'll be back, and hopefully the monsoon's done its sort of thing, and the weather will be reasonably flyable. So if you're thinking about doing long-term training or, longer training, full-time training, that's when you need to be thinking about. I've got a bunch of 210 GA transition course inquiries. I think I've pretty much filled everything for the end of this year, unfortunately. I'm looking for maybe another option to get someone in to give me a hand with that sort of stuff. But again, they need to be someone who's got the experience to make the whole thing worthwhile. Otherwise, it's just another instructor doing 210 flying with you. So let me look into all that. A lot of things going on, and we'll see what happens. Whilst I'm talking about instructing, moving on from the Create Better Pilots seminar that we ran in Caboolture, we're going to be starting, Paul and I, the first of many different sort of seminars and things throughout the year, but we're going to start focusing on the first 5 lessons. So one session a month, and they'll be $50 each, or you can do your pick and choose, or $250 for all of them. And they'll be live online sessions only with Paul and myself. And we've already got quite a bit of interest. The first session is going to be all about the privileges, limitations of instructors, levels of learning. It's going to be a bit of an abridged PMI / just reminding of all the things that we're meant to be doing, and then looking in detail effects of control, straight and level climbing, descending, turning, stalling, and circuits. So it's going to be really fantastic. There'll be an hour to 2 hours each, well worth the $50, I can guarantee you. And there'll be some details coming out very, very soon. Paul and I are just finalising the information for that, and we'll get out with the link and where you can get yourself an online ticket and join us. So keep an eye on that. Also, during the week, I was able to join in with the guys from Skyward. You would have seen posted on Instagram the other day. I joined my old instructor, Michael Gurr. Michael's a captain with Virgin. He's also captain standards with the 7th Reef Fleet, along with Michael Cook, another Czech captain. And there's 2 others there in the team, but Michael were the ones that came and presented a fantastic professional development program for commercial pilots. The team at the Jetstream participated in that, and they were soaking it up. And all along the same lines of what I've been talking about with the standard of pilots and the troubles and deficiencies that have been reaching right up into the airline level. So there's a lot of work to do here. It's something that we're really going to be strongly working on, but these four guys have all seen it, and they've now been poised to take some action as well. And we're going to be working together to help on all angles there as well. So if you're looking for some professional development, get in touch with the guys at Skyward. They're sort of getting online details all up and down, but if you need to get in contact, let me know. And between one of us, we'll be able to look after and do something and present some options for your flying team. All right. Let's get into the mailbag. So we had a bunch of questions that, and I'm not going to get into all of them today. I've answered a couple on the story, and I'll save those as reels as well. So if you missed them, you'll be able to look those up. But yeah, the first one is passenger briefings. And it was a really good question from, this is the problem with these Instagram names, isn't it? So, me. See, I don't know if I should say that out loud. I don't know what that means, but anyway. How do you give an emergency briefing without freaking out nervous passengers? And it is a really great question. Look, I gave a passenger brief in Broome today, or yesterday, as you're listening to this, or maybe a week later, to the passengers in the Mallard. So we usually have a online video that we play before, but obviously when we're in Broome, we don't have that. So I pull out the life jacket and the seatbelt and the safety card, and I give them a normal passenger brief. And I'm just my normal self, I guess you could say. It's I just make it a little bit entertaining, give them the information, but just do it in a not irresponsible, humorous way, but just a lighthearted way that just makes a little bit of fun, and just let everyone have that reassurance that this is just for emergency needs, but, it is important, because especially with some aircraft, if those people don't understand and they're between you and the exit, that can cost lives. So it is important just to get it done, but just don't make a big deal about it. It's a seatbelt. It should be pretty straightforward, but just have a play with it. Make sure if they can put it on, they should be able to get it off. It's just like the one you probably flew your big airliner seatbelt on last time. If it's a different type of seatbelt, take them through that. Just let them know that obviously there's no smoking, no vaping, where the emergency exits are, how they operate. For us, we're a 2-crew operation, so we'll operate them, but just in the case I can't get to it, check outside, make sure there's no fire, any other danger. If not, don't use that exit. We'll move to a different one. Just all that sort of thing. Just keep it relatively lighthearted, but do it properly as well. I know there's some that just rush through it because as the pilot, it's like the 15th time you've given it that week. But remember, for the person that's receiving it, it could be the first time, and they can be nervous. A lot of people get very nervous about light aircraft. They don't necessarily know why they're nervous. They just are. So give them that chance, have a chat with them, engage them, and look them in the eye as well. And just let them know that, hey, don't worry, I've got this. And that will give them a lot of confidence as well. All right. So thank you for that question. I hope that's sort of helped a little bit and given you some ideas. All right. RM Sheridan, I only have a Diamond DA40, 42 time. Do GA operators see us as useless? You're not useless. All right. Diamonds, as I keep saying, are good airplanes, but I could just as easily flip this in the reverse and just say to someone, I've only ever flown a 152 and a 172. Am I useless? No, you're not. What you need is a bit of diversity, a little bit of range. So yes, you want to jump into a 210, 206 if you can. You can do that up here, like I said in the intro, doing a GA Ready / my GA transition course or the like. There's a bunch of them out there. Do your research before you jump on. But what operators need most is I have my GA transition course, and then it's subtitled Cutting the Cord. All right, from flight school. This is the biggest problem more than anything. A lot of schools are taking students through the training, and there you go. There's your commercial license. Thanks for coming. See you later. Next. And you're like, yeah, but, and this is the drama. So you need to now try and jump in an airplane, and it could still be at your local flying area, which is probably a good idea because that's what you're most familiar with, and plan a flight. Go flying from start to finish. Plan the flight, book the flight, look at the weather, the airspace and OTANs, decide where you're going to go, how you're going to get there, check out all the airspace, special use areas, which is formerly prohibited restricted danger areas, PRDs, and weight and balance, fuel, a whole lot. That will just go so far into helping your confidence and making you more comfortable with your flying. But then you don't want to do the same thing 20 times because it just is them just building hours. You want to get some more experience. So if you're going to do it, plan a trip. Get some other flying friends together. Split the costs. Having the benefit of sitting in the front seat or the back seat and following along what's going on and helping each other out, supporting each other, again, worth its weight in gold. And if your flying school's not going to let you do these things, then once you've got a commercial license, hire an aircraft, take it away, go on a trip and do these things because this is what's going to give you the exposure and the confidence. You can't expect an employer to look at you and try and offer you a job when you just are straight out of flight school and you haven't done these things a bit for yourself. Now, the different flying schools, some will have given you opportunity to go and consolidate and build solo time, which is awesome. But a lot haven't, or it's been highly chaperoned, or because of the 142 fee help structure, it's just not been available in that setup. All right, let's just accept that and move on. Now it's time to take some ownership of your own development and find some ways to get some experience. If you're going to do some 210 flying and it fits in, come up to Darwin. Like I said, I'm pretty much chockers, but I'm working on a plan. Otherwise, book it for the new year. Make that a goal. Save money. Maybe that's just going to be, I'm going to do that and then try and stay in Darwin for a while. That's typically the January, February, March is the usual sort of hiring time ready for the dry season at the end of the wet, and see what happens that way. All right. But see what you can do. So you've flown the Diamond, not a problem. Take ownership, find a new aircraft, get onto a Piper, get onto a Cessna, whatever you can get your hands on, fly something different, try and fly it in some different airspace, and go and have some fun and be safe. All right? So great question. Thank you. I'm getting that one quite a bit. All right. The next one is by Mark Griggs. How to prepare or to get info for the wet season for new Darwin pilots. All right. We're not far away, guys. We're getting there. So just stay tuned on that one. If you're already in Darwin, CASA, I'm sure soon will announce their standard annual wet season seminar and forum. That will be coming up at some point. I myself will be running something soon. I'm just working on it. I've been asked by 2 operators now to present seminars for their employees. As always, I don't have the sort of financial means to hire out a hotel room and conference room and do that sort of thing, but we're smaller groups. We're looking at doing that. Otherwise, for those who aren't in Darwin or can't get to Darwin, or if it just makes it easier, I'll do something online. And like I said, stand by on that one. I will release some information on that very, very soon. But it's 100% necessary. I've been talking to quite a few of the heads of flying operations lately, the HOFOs, that they are very aware that a lot of turnover, and there are very few pilots within each organisation that actually now have wet season experience. A lot of them have moved on. So as always, every year the training needs to start again, and we work through the process to make sure that everyone is informed and safe and is empowered to make good decisions. All right. So keep an eye on that one. I will 100% be getting into the wet season stuff very, very soon. And I'm sure CASA will be soon. As soon as I hear anything about the CASA forum, I'll let you know. All right. And the final question, which again, I keep getting asked a lot, is from Lewis Speed. And it's always wondered what your aviation journey was like and where did you start out? So a bit much to say right now. What I'm going to do is not dodge the question, but I'm going to defer to another podcast. Send your listeners away. No. So Damien Rose interviewed me last year, and then he got really busy. And just recently, a couple of months ago, he finally released it. And it's in a 2-part series. And his podcast is called the High Fly Media Podcast. So I thoroughly recommend going to have a listen to my 2 episodes. And then there's some other great Australian aviators there that Damien's also interviewed as well. And I will put a link to that again on the Instagram story, and I'll put it on Facebook as well, so you'll be able to find that link. But just look up the High Fly Media Podcast, and you'll see that there's 2 interviews, or it's 2 parts that I did with Damien, and we have a great chat. And I basically talk about everything from where I started, various things I've done in my career, and had a great chat talking to him about all that. So thank you for your interest. If you want me to do one myself, just sit here talking about myself, again, I could do that. It's not something I normally do, but I'm happy to take you through all that sort of thing. So if anyone wants me to do that, let me know. And if you've got specific questions, maybe then that'll help me sort of shape it around that. But otherwise, yeah, go and have a listen to episode 14, part 1 and 2, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. All right, everyone. Thank you. There is a bunch more questions here, so I will cover those off very, very soon. But I'm pretty tired now, so I'm going to go to bed and get back into it tomorrow. Everyone have a fantastic week. Enjoy yourself. And most importantly, remember the golden rule. Aviate, navigate, communicate. Cheers, everyone.